just cannot be. Slay, slay, slay. All the drugs you snorted all. Slay, slay, slay.
Daredevil Born Again, season finale, first season. Yes. Yeah, man. I spoke about it a little bit. You know, I think I talked about like the first 3 episodes, but I said to myself, you know what? Let me actually take it all in, let it finish, let it marinate in my brain. Let me talk about this justly, okay? Daredevil Born Again, I mean, this was an interesting season, given the fact that, you know, this is Daredevil on Disney Plus, and I think everyone who was a big fan of Daredevil kind of had their apprehension of not being sure whether or not they're going to stick to the overall tone, violence of Daredevil in Disney, you know. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man, especially with this last episode, they kept it going. They didn't disappoint. They said, we're gonna give the people what they want, and what they want is some blood. And you goddamn right, that's what we want. Which begs the question, I wonder, because I know there's rumors going around that they're going to have like a Marvel Knight series. And I wonder if this is going to kick it off. But nevertheless, we did see this type of violence in Werewolf by Night. So it's not that much a surprise. So that's good. Kudos to them. Oh, man, I was praying that they was going to continue the tone of Daredevil like they did in She-Hulk. Oh, my goodness. If they would have did that, it would have been praying to lose money. Like, what y'all doing? But anyways, this is obviously sort of a bit of a reboot. A bit. How did I feel about Foggy's death? I mean, it was obviously wild. It was very emotional. Foggy was a character that was sort of like the anchor to Matt, like to kind of kept him grounded, that kept him good, that kept him, you know, sane, not be on that Punisher level. So when he was gone, you know, now Matt is struggling. And that pretty much what this whole series was generally about, was Matt struggling with the whole idea of going berserker and taking the Punisher way and just killing off criminals, or is he going to still stick to his faith and still stick to his morals and still be good? You know what I'm saying? And obviously him not being Daredevil for a good portion, damn near almost the whole series, you know, was the focus point of the show. Him just focusing on dealing with Foggy's death and honestly punishing himself for even almost attempting to kill off Bullseye, I thought was interesting. However, I do feel that it did take a little bit too long with that. It was somebody on YouTube, Tyrone Magnus, someone I watch quite often. It kind of reminds me of my brother. I said that, you know, they definitely dialed back on the amount of action that we see. And that could be a little boring. It could be a little boring. You know, still into the drama. I was there for the build-up. But it was oftentimes in the show where it was a little bit like, I kind of don't really care what's going on. Like, I get that we're seeing the Kingpin. You know, it's like a question of, okay, is he gonna be really good? Is he really done with being the Kingpin? Is he really gonna just be Mayor Fisk? And then slowly but surely start to see like, nah, he's still the same guy. And obviously with Daredevil, just counting down the time of when he's gonna show up as Daredevil again. And so you had a lot of character build and, you know, a lot of characters being introduced to kind of test and go into those narratives and build up that character moments for both each character. This is very much a show about both Matt Murdock and Kingpin. Like, this is a very much so a dual series. You're there for it, but at the same time, you still want a little action. It was a lot, like I said, it was a lot, you know, episodes where I was kind of checked out a little bit, just a little bit, especially with the Kingpin side of the story. You know, I really didn't care much for him and Vanessa. Really much care of their scenes, just them looking at each other and saying sweet nothings and knowing what to do, knowing what not to do, and recognizing their love for each other, for the city, and for crime. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. I didn't like how they had dual scenes. Like, you had where it would be like, let's say Daredevil talking to, I don't know, his girlfriend, the lawyer girl. He'll be talking to Heather Glenn, and while simultaneously showing us Kingpin talking to Vanessa. It kind of felt jumpy. Show us the scene, with Matt and his girl. Let that finish and then jump into Kingpin and Vanessa. I mean, it worked in some ways, but in other ways, it was kind of, I couldn't get really invested like the way I wanted to. And going into this overall story, like Kingpin, his main mission is to stop vigilantes from pretty much emerging, being around. He's trying to end all that shit. Mainly, he's really just trying to fuck with Daredevil, obviously, due to his righteousness. I love how he said that during the show. He was just talking about with ways he hates Daredevil and shit. This obviously is taking a lot of basis from the comic book storyline arc that some of you may or may not know, which is called Devil's Reign, where pretty much it was sort of like a Civil War remake to where Kingpin becomes mayor and now he's trying to outlaw vigilantism and all the superheroes band together and try to stop him. So that's pretty much what this series finale was building up to, which we find out that Vanessa, while Kingpin was away in prison, she was the one who got Foggy Nelson killed because he was finding things about her that she was doing, criminal shit, still keeping the Kingpin thing going. And yeah, she used Bullseye to get him killed. So this is all building up to that. My only thing about it is it's cool to see the Devil Reign storyline, but what vigilantes are, because at the end of the episode, you hear Daredevil and Karen Page, who makes her return in this episode. Good to see her back. She should have never left, to be honest with you. But anywho, like you see them, come together, and Matt Murdock, obviously from the wound he had from saving the Kingpin. Like, what you doing, man? I was so mad at that. Like, what you doing? Why you taking a bullet for the Kingpin for? Anyways, so he got this bullet wound, but he was still kicking ass for Punisher, which I'm gonna get to in a second. And she's like, "You can't take all this on your own. Well, you're gonna need help." So then he goes into some freaking diner, and the help he has is some regular civilians. Like it's just like, what you all gonna do? Like, I just wish, like, now that Daredevil is officially back a part of Marvel again, where it seems like Spider-Man is in New York. I feel like this story, Spider-Man gonna show up? Isn't She-Hulk in New York? Isn't, like, what other vigilantes are out there? It's just Daredevil and the Punisher. This is really taking the Devil Reign storyline and shrinking it down to just the only heroes that band together to stop the Kingpin and his cops is just the Punisher and Daredevil. Like, I feel like, man, if it should be other superheroes involved in this, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cold, the fact that Daredevil got stopped this blackout and all this martial law that Kingpin has unleashed upon New York. But I don't want to see him team up with a whole bunch of nobodies and a bunch of characters that I don't care about. And to be honest with you, kind of annoying me throughout the show. Like, I want to see Daredevil team up with other heroes to stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? Or just him being solo, but whatever. Tiger's dead. I don't care about Jack, the Winksy, the whatever character he's playing, the swordsman. I don't care about him. He seems like he's weak anyway. The action in the show was everything that they needed it to be. Like, it was definitely very bloody. I was surprised. I was surprised that they showed Kingpin crushing somebody's head. He crushed that dude, the police commissioner, wherever dude was. But it was weird the way he did it, because I guess his hand slipped, so he capped off his scalp, but also broke his jaw at the same time. So it was weird, but definitely gave me Terrifier vibes. So that was good. Look, John Berthal, the best version of the Punisher. Even though I do still like Buddy from Warzone, but yeah, John Berthal, I mean, he's cold. I mean, his part in the series definitely fit well. Made a lot of sense. Again, another physical representation of what's going on in Matt Murdock's head, to where he's fighting the urge to really unleash that rage and be that wrath that he so represents with the suit, right? You know what movies I really like in terms of aesthetically? It's Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse. Both Death Proof and Planet Terror. And honestly, I really like the aesthetics of Terrifier. Why is that? Because I just love that vintage, old school grimy look to those films. And to be honest with you, I also really like neon colors, like the movie Honora or John Wick. So I thought to myself, how will it look to have this blend of aesthetics in a film or in a music video? How would that be done? So I pretty much did it like this. In terms of production, I pretty much used the MS60C Newer. This light is decent. I mean, especially if you're trying to light something that night. And in terms of the gels that I use, I pretty much use simple paper gels that I got from Amazon, bro. I use orange, red, black, purple. I got a blue, I got a green. You can find them right on Amazon. Smack that on a Newer light and it's gonna work like magic, bro. You're probably thinking to yourself, how the hell were you able to do this outside? I'm gonna tell you how I was able to do it outside. I pretty much use this bad boy. It's a great tool to use. You can plug anything into it. You just gotta be mindful of the voltage, the watts and all that, because this does run out of battery pretty quick, depending on how much power you got pumping into it. But yeah, same thing, same drill. Got this off Amazon. Decent tool to use. But yeah, man, as far as what I did in post-production to give it that nice vintage aesthetic among the nice little neon lights that I got put on it, I pretty much upped the contrast, lowered the exposure, as well as upping the blacks and the whites. And I slapped on the film ripple filter on there, and you pretty much get what you got right there. For all tools used, just make sure you click the link in the description and make sure you subscribe. And like always, you ain't got asked by and you ain't even got to have the answer to it, because you already know what it is. I like how Punisher's like the devil on his shoulder, especially in that episode where they were arguing in his little lair. You know, in this finale, he knocked out one of those cops. Punisher's like, do it, finish it. And you got Matt, doing their little flashback clips of everything he's been going through this season. And he's thinking about it, but he's like, no, it's not worth it. And he's like, fine, I'll do it. Daredevil was like, no, like, it's crazy because as they were fighting these cops in the finale, Matt, he was so focused on fighting other cops that he couldn't really stop Frank from killing them. And Frank told him, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to chop them up, as he said. Punisher don't play, man. The only thing I didn't like was while he was killing all these cops, he just kept like he don't have to do that Punisher grunting the whole time. Like, have him do it a few blows and then have him just regular fight. Like, he don't gotta. It was a little bit ridiculous. Other side characters, like I said, I didn't really care about BB. I don't care about the old cop dude. I don't care about Matt's new lawyer friend. They were all annoying to me. Like, they all like. Every time Matt would do or say something, they all like, well, Matt, you can't do that. You need to stop and think about it. Or Matt. Like, shut up. Like, you just being annoying. Like, I don't know. It was different when Foggy and Paige was doing it because they didn't, well, Foggy knew at one point, but, at first they didn't know his secret identity, then they did know, but it was more so of like with his wounds and everything that was going on, them having to do the Punisher, having to deal with the Punisher case or the trial, and then him dealing with Elektra, which I hope she's coming back, by the way. Him having to deal with Elektra and shit like that. Like, I get why it was a lot of banter between characters. And this one, it's kind of like, I don't got enough development with all these other characters. I don't care about their opinion. I don't care about what they think Matt should do or not do. Just shut up and just listen to Matt. I didn't care about the BB report. That was annoying. I mean, there's other ways to show the opinion of the city and show the heart of the city in ways that doesn't interrupt the flow of the show. Muse. Man, no, before I even get to Muse. Well, no, actually, this goes into Muse. This goes into Muse. So Muse, I don't know why I get Muse is not a big long-term character in the comic book, so it does make sense. And I get that he was clearly used just to have an excuse for Matt Murdock to return and don the mask again as Daredevil. We could have used maybe 1 or 2 more episodes between him and Muse, like a nice little rivalry. I think that was like, man, y'all just gonna get rid of him. And in the comics, he's an Inhuman, so we could have maybe saw Matt go up against someone who actually has abilities. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Daredevil, maybe Kingpin could have recruited Muse. Nah, hell no. Muse is too crazy. He's too crazy. He's even crazier than those copycat cops, the Punisher copycats. Kingpin wouldn't be able to control him. But still, I think I would have seen more of him. But so Muse pretty much gets killed trying to attack Matt's new girlfriend, Heather Glenn. And he goes in there, he fights him, but Heather Glenn somehow gets a gun and shoots him. She is talking about how, oh, I'm dealing with these boys with their emotions or some shit, some crap, she says. And Matt is trying to tell her, like, what are you talking about? Daredevil saved you, aka I saved you. How you gonna compare me to Muse? And he was like, well, you weren't there. You weren't there. And I'm like, I knew there was gonna have some feminist idiot in this show at some point. Because I like how Matt reacted when she said that. He didn't say anything. He just put on his jacket and was getting ready to go. Like, right. Like, freaking idiot. What are you talking about? And now she's over here working for the Kingpin. Kingpin wanted her to be the superior health executive of the mayor or whatever the frick he said. And it's like Matt is telling you, don't trust the Kingpin. Stop trying to be near him. Listen to your man. Like, you stupid woman. Why are you over here talking all this crap about Daredevil? You don't want to listen to your man when he tries to tell you things that's going to keep you from being in danger. You want to argue with him. You want to say all this crap to him at that damn gallery they were at when they were having dinner, or that dance, or that ball, or whatever the crap it was. You talk all this mess, and now you at a place where you might get yourself killed. They just had to put a stupid feminist in this show, and it so happened to be Matt Murdock's girlfriend. I hope he leaves her and continues on with Karen Page, who's actually a big love interest in the comic book. Anywho, look, I mean, it was good. It was good. I liked it. I don't like it as much as the first 3 seasons of Daredevil, but I liked it. Now I'm just wondering after the season finale, because we didn't see Bullseye at all. He attempted to kill the Kingpin. Daredevil dumbass saved him for some odd reason, and he was gone. So, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna show up. Obviously, in that post-credit scene, we seen Punisher finesse a dumbass. Fucking, what are you doing, man? Like, who in their right mind would just think, oh yeah, oh, I'll shake your hand, Punisher, and got his shit snapped? You idiot. Shook the Punisher's hand and got his arm broken off. Fucking idiot. Anyways, overall series is good. Can't wait for the next season. Hope they don't take too long. And with that being said, you ain't got to ask about it, and you ain't got to have the answer to it, because you already know what it is.